I definitely want to talk a little bit about your.
Well, I want to get into the good stuff. Yeah.
I want to talk about your sobriety. I want to talk a lot of your story. I think it's important. I know in just the little time when we've posted stuff on Instagram about it, the outpouring of people we've had that we've been able to reach back out to and been able to help, and they hit us up yearly saying, I'm on 2 years now, I'm on 3 years now.
Yeah.
Well, that's really cool.
That's probably one of the coolest things at this point. Like even when Mickey first posted, there would be comments that would be like, how could you put that out there? How could you talk about that? Like, you're using your sister, blah, blah, blah. Like, obviously Mickey
they'd say that to him.
Yeah. Or like try to come to my like protection. But obviously, first of all,
it's not your business. You're right. I didn't even think about that because that was so long ago. But yeah, some people are like, that's not your business to say. But it's like, I know her. I talked to her already.
Sure.
And honestly, that made me feel great because I don't see it with any shame. A lot of people do look at it that it either is or should be a shameful thing, or they have their own shame. That's part of the problem. Yeah, that's one of the biggest parts. So when Mickey posts about it or talking about it, I think is like the most powerful thing you could do, and it's been incredible. Like people, like Mickey said, yearly I get a message. Like I had somebody like a month ago say they got 5 years, and they're like, seeing Mickey post about this changed my life.
Yeah.
There's nothing cool, like, yeah, having a platform, even what you guys do, you grow a following, it's great, whatever, but okay, what are you doing with it? If you're able to help people with it, that's the most amazing thing you could do. But laughter.
While I love that you're giving us credit for your sobriety, you actually did a lot of the work. I mean, don't get me wrong, we did a lot of the work.
And truly, it's something.
You did so much.
Don't get me wrong, we really carried the lion's share of the load here in your sobriety.
But it's also something I'm genuinely very proud of, and I think anybody who if they have an issue, like if they go and overcome something like that, you win a battle with your own self, your own demons, your own mind.
Sure.
That's harder than any opponent you have to face. You do, like, that's why I would say Jamie's like the real fighter in the family. She has to fight a battle every fucking day. You know, so it is something like that I'm sincerely like the most proud of.
Yeah, I think, and so many people are affected by it as well.
Every family has people who are struggle with addiction.
Well, I think going back to what you said before, the shame aspect, I would imagine, is one of the biggest hurdles in recovery, right? Because as you sober up, then kind of the realization of everything hits you.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, man.
Well, even just getting to a point to get sober, it's not always, I couldn't do it on my own. I needed support. I needed people around to help me and get me to that place. I wasn't somebody that could just be like, my life's not doing well, or like these different consequences have pushed me, now I'm going to get sober. I needed people to push me to do that. So if nobody knew, I couldn't get that help. So
we've started at the end here, but for our audience, let's go through your story a little bit from the beginning.
That's why you're the professional here, G.
You know, no,
we're doing a Quentin Tarantino movie over
here.
It's all out of order.
All over
but
she survives, and she's the best person ever at the end. So it's like you get to see.
She was a crackhead for a little bit.
Yeah. But that's very important to know. It's very important to know that whatever we're about to talk about next, however vulnerable you get, however dark the times were, the important message that comes out of this is that you are a highly successful business person, right? You're not Mickey Gall's sister. You have blazed a trail in a very male-dominated industry. You're crushing it in many ways, right? And you know, it's one thing to overcome what you've overcome, and it's another thing to still thrive professionally and personally after that, which you have. So this story, for anyone listening, however hard it is to listen to, it has a happy ending. And this is a very, very powerful story for anybody that may be struggling or knows somebody struggling, to see that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. No matter how dark it looks, no matter how far away the light is, there is one.
Yeah, and that's the point of it. You don't get sober and make changes in your life to be miserable. You do it so that you have a life, and that's the hardest part, is thinking like, how could I? Even for me, I didn't have goals. I thought I was gonna die a drug addict for sure. I think my family thought the same. Like, Mickey, I know you had get random phone calls would stress you out and scare you because you never knew what was on the other line, and it was, it was just really unpredictable. So even thinking that you can have a life is incredible.
Well, now that I know that that's one of his triggers, I cannot wait to put his personal information on Grindr. Says, you want to keep taking photos of me in the bathroom, buddy? Wait till
that was something I was like kind of reminded of on her sober date was thinking 9 years before, I was pretty sure the next time I held her hand, it was going to be cold. Like, I didn't think I was going to see her alive again, you know?
That's actually what got me sober, because you said that to me right before I went back to Florida. And we'll start at the beginning in a minute. But
why don't you go ahead?
Well, I don't want to forget to say that, though, because that really is why I got sober. My family had just found out that I had relapsed again, and they found needles and stuff like that. And everyone was freaking out, and I was just like, I gotta leave. I just need to get out of here as soon as I can. I have to get back to Florida. And in my head, part of me was like, I'll get sober, but like first I gotta get really high. I gotta get high. I gotta do it my way.
One last hurrah!
Yeah, I can't be trapped here now. Like I'll figure out a way and I'll be okay. But
It's really killing my buzz.
Yeah.
The next morning you're hungover. It's like, well, I can't go to rehab hungover.
I was laying in bed and I was like, I'd run out. I was detoxing and everyone knew that I was getting high, so I was like being watched. And Mickey was holding my hand and he was like, I don't want the next time I hold your hand for it to be cold. And I was like, nah, don't worry about it. I'll be fine. I'm gonna get this taken care of. Like, I tried to brush it off, but those words never left me. And that was at the end. Like, I had overdosed a couple times. I overdosed, and we could get to this, but that just kept playing in my head over and over again. And eventually was why I got sober, because I was like, I can't imagine my life without Mickey. Like, he was the complete reason why I did. And I'm going to try not to cry because we're on podcast. So I'm getting a little shaky over here. But
if you want to cry, you can cry. It's okay.
But no, that was
I'm not going to cry, Roy.
That's why, like, everything I did, even getting into the profession I'm in now, was because I do, and I still do. I feel like I owe my life to Mickey, because I wouldn't be here without him. 100% would not be.